Hey everybody, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Brian. And together we are Cooking with the Cotas.
I'm a registered dietitian with professional culinary training.
And I'm a finance guy who has no idea how to cook in the kitchen. And together we're going to show you and me that cooking in the kitchen can be easy and affordable. When you eat out, you're spending double what you could be spending if you're just making the food yourself. And you can make it healthier as well.
Speaking of healthy, while we're trying to save money and cut costs, we're going to be demonstrating how to make all these meals in a healthy way, whether that would be reducing sodium, increasing fiber, but I'll be walking through that with you guys so you have a good idea of what I'm referring to.
So you can have more than just a broom in your kitchen. You can have nature's broom inside you as well.
So today we're going to be meal prepping breakfast burritos. I don't know about you, but my husband was not a breakfast eater until he met me. Yeah, so on a typical work day, we're super busy. We usually snooze our alarms like 4 or 5 times in the morning, so we don't really have time to make breakfast. So we just want to grab something quick from the fridge and heat it up at work. So that's what we're going to prep for you today. So let's get started. So as we're getting our burritos ready, mise en place is our first step. Have you ever heard of mise en place?
I thought we were making burritos.
Mise en place is a French term that means everything in its place. So we have all the ingredients out in front of us just to get everything ready and put together. So before I start talking through the ingredients, Brian here is going to crack all the eggs and whisk them together so we can get them on the stove.
Get cracking.
So eggs is the first ingredient. We're getting about 1.5 eggs per burrito. That's our main source of protein for this meal, so that can help sustain us throughout the morning before lunchtime while we're at work.
Fun fact, if you get a broken eggshell in your eggs, you can use a part of an eggshell to dig through your eggs and to get it out. But hopefully, after a couple eggs, you'll not be like me and not get eggshells in your eggs.
All right, so we're gonna move on. Next we have is the cheese. We're using shredded cheese here just so it's convenient. Again, we're prepping this stuff on a Sunday night. We don't want to shred cheese. So we're just gonna use the quick method of buying the shredded cheese. So with the beans, we chose a refried bean. The type that I got was a fat-free refried bean because the traditional ones do have lard, so that's a lot of saturated fat that we want to try to prevent. So we're just using a regular pinto bean refried bean here. So we also have the tortillas here. During this COVID-19 crisis, the shelves were pretty darn bare, so we had slim pickings when we were trying to figure out what tortilla we wanted. Today we're using like a chia seed tortilla and then a whole grain tortilla. But essentially I want you to look at the back of the label, try to find a tortilla that at least has a couple grams of fiber.
But you don't want too high of fiber, otherwise you'll run out of toilet paper.
Fair point. So Brian's just finishing up with the eggs right now, and he's gonna get whisking.
The last thing I whisked was my wife off of her feet.
So as he's whisking, I'm just going to talk through a couple other things. So we're going to add a little bit of milk to this, just to give it a little bit of fluffiness when we're scrambling them on the stove. And then we have a couple seasonings that Brian picked out for us. He picked out some basil and oregano. Those are his staples. He likes putting in anything he's cooking. And a little bit of salt and pepper, just to enhance that flavor.
In putting milk in here, I'm not putting a terrible amount in, just kind of a dollop, usually for a couple eggs, so it's kind of a gulp for 15 eggs. So we're going to heat up our eggs on a skillet that we're going to have on a pan on the stove top. We're going to heat it at a medium heat, and we do have a non-stick pan, but we're still going to spray it with some oil just to make sure that they don't stick onto it. And we are going to, while that's starting to heat up, we are going to add our scrambled eggs to the pan. Make sure we want to get all our seasonings in there as well. That salt, pepper, basil, and oregano that we added to it. And while that's going to cook, we can go ahead and prep our station to make the burritos once it's done.
All right, so that's my cue. We're gonna get all of our tortillas out. We're gonna lay all 10 of them out so that we can just make the process go a lot quicker. And Brian, if you wanna grab those beans that we have ready to go, and we're gonna put a tablespoon of beans on each tortilla. And after you put that tablespoon on, you're just gonna spread it along, like in one long line. Yep, perfect. We're gonna replicate that with all 10 of them.
Now, we did realize with 15 eggs, which is what we have here for 10 burritos, you want to actually probably have a little bit higher of a heat. Ours is on about an 8 right now, just so that it can cook it, since it is thicker and you have a lot more. You can also scrape the pan with some kind of spatula to be able to really get some of those scrambled eggs that have already started to cook off from the bottom and allow more of the eggs to cook. So you just want to steadily scrape this. Again, we've already beaned up all of our burritos, so our burritos are good to go. And we're just going to steadily keep scraping this to allow the scrambled eggs to be nice and fluffy is what they'll look like once they're all done. If you notice it starting to burn on some points when you're doing this, you can turn it down as well. We just turn it down to about a 7, 6. But we're still going to be scraping it some and making sure that we don't have any burnt pieces at the bottom. This is looking really good so far. Right here is where we want to probably turn our temperature down lower, maybe around a 4, where it can still continue to cook a little bit, but this is where we have a lot of our eggs that are good. And you see this nice fluffiness that you get to enjoy your eggs with.
Honey, that's looking great.
Thank you. I had a great teacher.
Alrighty, so now we have all the eggs done. Thank you, Brian. You did a wonderful job. So we're gonna try to get about 1.5 eggs, like I said, per tortilla. So we're gonna kind of just estimate here. It's not gonna be perfect. We don't have a perfect science, but if we do notice some has more than others, we'll just modify as. So as Brian's putting all the eggs on the tortillas, I'm gonna start getting the next ingredient ready. So the next ingredient is the cheese. We're gonna do about a tablespoon of cheese per tortilla, which I think is the perfect amount. It gives it a little bit of cheesiness without like overdoing the calories and such.
I personally prefer a healthy amount of cheese on there.
And the healthy amount, that definition varies from person to person, but to each their own.
Now that we've added everything to our tortillas and burritos, we're going to add one more thing, which is a little bit of hot sauce. Alright, so we have added everything to our burritos.
So to fold up your burrito, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold up those two sides together, and then you're gonna bring the bottom flap all the way over so that we have a nice sealed burrito. Then I'm gonna grab some plastic wrap, just a small square. And we are going to put our burrito in and fold it up honestly the same way that we folded the burrito. 2 flaps and then wrap around. And then this is something you could just keep wrapped up in your fridge, and you can You can unwrap it and just throw it in the microwave when you need it in the morning for work.
Today we showed you how to make a breakfast burrito, which is a great breakfast option, super easy to grab and go, and it only takes about a minute to heat up in the microwave. Cooking times may vary based on your microwave. Also, we looked into the cost of this, and it calculated about 65 cents per burrito, which that's going to beat any not your dollar anymore breakfast menu at your local fast food joint.
So thanks for watching. Tune in next time to
Cooking with the Cotas.
If you enjoyed learning to cook with us today, please like or subscribe below.